other than check. Can we get a different stock here with some more motion? Not the depths of JZXN. Actually, I mean, it's given a decent move so far. Let me pay more attention to it. We got highs at 98, and so far we're pulling back a little bit. There are some sellers at 88. JZXN. Zach, what's up? Jamie. No trade day. Trying for this VWAP bounce here, but I want to see more buying. A potential VWAP bounce. By the way, I actually didn't get to set up the Weeble keys. So I'll still be today, no pennies, no pennies. BATL, MOBX. How did those stocks hold up from yesterday? CRE. CRE is gaining some volume, but it doesn't really look the best. It is, well, okay, it's opening up some more. It sold off so much earlier. Is there a new headline or something? I'm kind of doing a little too much on this one. Because of where it's coming from, there's a little bit more risk. I'll ease off and wait. I'm interested as to why it's even going up. Like, is it just getting pumped up? Don't seem to be a recent headline again here. I gotta make sure not to overtrade the craziness. Similar to that video we posted yesterday, actually. Trade the best, leave the rest. Twin man, always supporting the channel. Yeah, taking a couple trades is the way to go. When you come in with too much excitement, you can overtrade. Can't be too eager, but instead, you got to be very patient. It's like I look at the stock and I know like it just doesn't look good because of this massive move down, or so much lower below the VWAP. It doesn't mean that it can't potentially get back up above that level, but that's for me where it looks more attractive, like at 580, another dollar share higher. Like right now, all of this could mean nothing. Short sellers covering, and then maybe just a reshort rather than like a real move with real volume to retest the highs and get a new high. And Yeah. The mighty's always had a way with words. You know, I have so much content. Oh, not so much. I have some content I haven't posted from pretty much like every trip we've been on. I'll give the people the exclusive, not the exclusive, but something, you know. You know, obviously I can't share the details of the Mighty's business plan that he has going on in Canada. It's just too private. The enterprise that he's looking to build, the fortune that he's looking to amass, his portfolio, all right? The private combos have to stay private. Or the Mighty's gonna be like, Pastor, what are you doing here? My business plan is in the depths. My brand new idea has been stolen. You ever have like a idea? You know, people will like actually patent and copyright. If not, your ideas can be stolen. Can be and will be. No way! Wow. It is currently 7:46 a.m. It seems like we're waiting for the 8 a.m. spike. The 8 a.m. What do I think beginner trader calls it? Scrum, 8 a.m. Scrum, I think. You know what? Um, let's see here. Let me go to widescreen. I'll be back in about 30 seconds here. I'll be back in like in 8 a.m. chaos. 8 a.m. chaos. Hey, that's fine with me too. Anybody that uses the dash like light theme, you're a crazy person. That's the only thing I can say. Let me switch back to this chart here. Um, which one is it? Boom. No, not that one. Is it this one? Am I cooked? Okay, maybe I'm cooked. Give me my chart, please. Okay, there we go. Let's close that. Hey, hold up, I'll be back again. See, every time I have to like log in and out of something, you know, I can't take the risk. I have to be careful, or I'll be cooked. Quite annoying, but you know, part of the deal. Actually, hold up. It's 52, 52, 53. Yeah, EONR. EONR, cheaper stock, moving up a little bit at 76 cents. All right, we got 2 minutes to. We got 2 minutes to 2 minutes to 8 a.m. Yeah, we got about 30 seconds here. Hopefully we get something good. The moment I come for pre-market, it's dead. Absolutely dead. What date are we getting today? Actually, I haven't like checked in the last like day, data-wise. It's not Wednesday, so it's definitely not CPI. Job numbers, unemployment numbers. Non-farm payroll. I wonder if John is covering it. Beginner trader. Actually, a lot of times, like when I'm not streaming, right? Especially in the morning, I'm usually listening to one of those guys. Fair enough. Fair enough. PRSO. That's pretty good. Shit. 26, 23. This one has good volume. There's a good news headline. I just want to see a little bit more range in the pullbacks here. Breakout by 3 cents. Our candlestick is about to close here in 5. It needs to open up for a new high here. Can we see over 34? There's 35, 36. But we need to see 40, 45, 50. If it's going to really be a good momentum move here. Can we see 45? It seems like when the bigger pullback does come, that might be it, the way how it's moving. It's kind of like tight in its range and it's like steady grind, slow grind up. Like that was a pullback right there, 5 cents. Like, just come on. I I have a hard time kind of like, but I'm gonna try to just adjust to it and just see if I can get something. It reminds me of the stock yesterday. It's, the one yesterday was a little bit better though. I think during the open it was. Small topping wick 45. Are still pretty bullish in the bigger context. Like it's getting volume, but it's not going. Like with this type of green, we should be 50, 60, like flying. Does it have what it takes to open up? It's pretty high fill and late entry there. Not ideal. Yeah, it's like a stock like this, you know. I need to be in at like 110 and just like holding to like see anything. The range is so tight and limited. Let's see if this pullback here can be any good. Might have stopped out of that one prematurely. The 5 minute is still holding up. I don't know. I think this is a little tougher to trade. I mean, the pullback there at 41 was decent, but you know, limited chance to really be in. Some dips are like jumping up 8 cents without any like additional volume, you know, which is a little tough to be in on with those type of jumps. $0.08, you know, with no warning, making it a little tougher to be in on some opportunities. The candlestick here is it's fairly old. All right, it's about to close. It looks like it's getting a little dicey. You know, ultimately we moved up in an uptrend, but I think for like a good 60% of the move, I couldn't have gotten anything out of it really. You know, between about 25 to like 45, it's like a slow grind up, 5 cent range. We do open up a little bit more over 50, but that dip that came from like 49 to 41 was a big entry there. I actually got to put on my hat. My eyes are kind of getting affected by the light. I don't know what it is, but sometimes like I guess since the wall behind in front of me is white, my screens are on the tint mode, which is good. It'll be good if it gets a new hive day. It's, you know, pretty much consolidating now. We're in the sideways trend. Such a lame uptrend, bro. Like, INDO, but it is coming down a bit. Yeah, PRSO, you know, if it can get through 60, I can try the next pullback, but it's held up the low of the range here. Good for now. Time 8:20. It is fighting for its life here. Looks like it might be coming down a bit, but we have the view up here. Will we see a reclaim? There is some buying. But it needs over 50. Really small size there as we've been inaccurate on this one, so but good to see it still fight for that level there. If it's any good, maybe it gets through 60 here. The range has been tight, so if it does get through 60, well, 64 really is the high, but if it gets through 64, I'm not going to expect the pullbacks to be massive. Will it try again at 64 high? It'll be good if it does, without giving a full pullback. That'll be the best case scenario here. It's crazy how the big bids and the big sellers are like meaningless. In some areas, green is printing and a lot of bigger bids are coming in, and then like, nothing really happens. In fact, the stock drops. Still looking decent. In fact, I might give it a shot here. Trying at 50 for the double bottom in this range. And tight stop at that level. If not, the candle is about to close, so if the volume isn't high, it might just be coming back down. We need to see some buyers. 50, 50, 51, 52. Will we see buyers step in here early for the retest of 160? Still in this fantastic range. For now, this is definitely the hot stock, right? PRSO. It's up 89%, 56 million shares of volume. I wonder how a guy like Ross approached it. You know, did he take like 50K size and get a nice 10, 15 cent move? It just seemed like it never really opened up, you know, properly. Like how we know a hot pre-market stock could open up. We just had a slow grind, and you know, through from 41 to 50, I think 58 was a good move. But if you dare miss that dip, you know, you probably didn't get back in. Like I didn't get back in through 50 because the breakouts, nothing indicated that a breakout was going to be good the whole way up, which is crazy for an uptrending stock, right? Typically, you'll get a area or two which lets you know, hey, a breakout can give 10 cents, 15 cents, you know, risk is 5 cents. Jump in. It's coming down a bit to the view up. INDO is curling up a little bit from the lows. I don't know. Unless that makes a new high, it might be tough to really trust. This is like such a frustrating stock for me to even trade. time, 8:30. Under 2. Ross doesn't trade under 2, really? I mean, there's some good ones, right? I don't like to like judge stocks like that because you can have the day where a stock starts out maybe 90 cents and then rips to 1, 110, 130, 160. Before you know it, it's break of 2, 250, 3. We've seen it, we've seen it before. Sometimes they can have that good range. All right, RITR, 89-cent stock, moving up a little bit. All we need is BMR to come, right? We need a BMR kind of a stock to just shake things up a little bit. 46 holding up for now with the VWAP. The chat room. What's the chat room saying? Bro, no, it's Friday already. Holy smokes. I'm telling you guys, man, like ever since I turned like 24, 23, or maybe even a little younger than that, the time is like just insane. It's going quick. I'm adding here 67. Do not collapse. Hold your line and fly. Freedom. Fly like a plane. Bro. See, that gets me excited to size up, and then we kind of do nothing. Unless my time horizon is too short. Ay, ay, ay. Or like back to 3 cents at a time. Bro, I can never get those fills, man. Holy smokes. You know, the issue is if you like wait to confirm, like, okay. Nah, bro. If you wait to confirm that you know, we're not like dropping all the way, it's like you kind of missed the bounce. Sizing up into this move, no good. The original pop pretty good, but doesn't seem like we're getting any additional buying. Ah, come on, man. Christmas tree. Christmas tree, Christmas tree. Freaking Christmas tree, man. The move up a little unexpected. You know, honestly, I was just thinking like 55 to like 60, 63 maybe. But to get up to 80 and then hold that 65, 69 level was very good for us to retest and like have short sellers maybe cover some more shares up at 80, 75. But so small size going up, big size in the first dip here. About 400 shares scaling out here, and then about 2,000 shares here to sell a little lower. Good setup, no follow through. Sway is saying he's not liking the momentum here. False breakout. Maybe time to wait for the open. SPY is dropping down a little bit right now. Don't forget if you're watching on YouTube to hit that thumbs up. Goodness gracious. What a world. What a world. What a world. The spy is tanking. SQQQ going to the moon. I guess that data wasn't pretty good. Data in the dumps. What I do like about this stock right now is that it's still holding up the VWAP. I'm waiting for the open. I'm not getting back involved until the open, but we got to just be careful of the head and shoulders. But holding up above VWAP for now, which is good. Receipts. MSTC, PRSO, and others. Yesterday was pretty slow, even like after the stream, and there wasn't much. Guys, don't forget if you're watching on YouTube to hit that thumbs up. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. Right now we're down 175. We got, well, I wouldn't say we got cooked, but we didn't get to extract any good green out of this market here early. We didn't get to extract any good green. Jobs data is not good. Trump has the market tanking. You guys ever see it any like any videos online and like the top comments are like don't vote for Democrats or don't vote for Republicans? It's the funniest thing ever. Yeah, MOBX at 113. We got a little over 30 minutes for the open. Might be a good time for me to get some breakfast actually. STAK. How much is Ross up right now? Are you guys, is anyone here in the chat? 3K. STAK moving up. STAK back down at 120. STAK Christmas tree. Damn, it's going down even more. Couple cents bounced there at the lows of one. Bro, this market, I'm getting, like, it's like I'm getting put to sleep here. Like, I'm gonna get breakfast and then I'll be back at like 9:25, maybe 9:20. I'll be gone for like 20 minutes. This is a little on the slower side here. So hopefully PR or so with the open volume we get a little bit extra oomph and we're able to push through the highs. If not, it could be head and shoulders, and we've already priced in Hive Day. That would lead us without a leading stock into the open. I'll be back in a sec. Looks like SY and X might be good for the open. Hopefully. I'll be back in another 2 minutes. It looks like this stock is looking fairly decent here. Looking all right. Let me see the daily chart real quick. SYNX. Military contract, of course, Middle East. It's like once this, you know, I mentioned it like 2 days ago. Like once this catalyst hits the scans, it seems like you just gotta just, you know, take a leap of faith maybe, and just go for it. I think the next one, maybe I give it a shot. We're still pretty fresh in this like cycle, so 10K size, YOLO. Maximum risk, maximum reward. Hail Mary with a little bit of technical analysis. SYNX, SYNX. Daily chart. Hopefully this one can be good. Like typical curling up off the lows, which is, you know, most of our penny stocks, cheaper stocks these days. So from 1 to 147, highs of 178. As low as 35. But our current range is a little tighter, which is good. 45, 35, and highs of 158 in the current range. Crispy's advice is to pinch the testes, to pinch the testicles and go for it, you know? So for the 247 people who are tuning in, good morning. And if you've missed me the last 15, 20 minutes, I left out for a bit of a breakfast break. We were at 170 pre-market here, so we're like, hey, let's just slow it down, be patient, wait for the open. We did trade ticker symbol CRE for a $22 loss. That one we should have never touched, so I'd say a bit of overtrading there. Our hotter stock PRSO did provide opportunities. In hindsight, you know, maybe I could have been a little bit more aggressive towards the VWAP pullbacks on that one. But I think the uptrend that we had was very limited in the opportunities. You know, we kind of had a 7-cent range at one point, 130 to 140, about a 7-10 cent range, and how we would bounce, I would say, wasn't the cleanest to really be in and capturing all the opportunities. And once we did get a pretty big move, we took size on the pullback there, looking for the retest. That ended up flushing out, and that's where we really took a bigger loss. I think before that, we were maybe down like $40 on the day. That trade kind of took us down. I think we went from about 300 shares in the move up to about 2,000 shares. So we sized up and got caught, and that really gave us the loss on the day. But SYNX, you know, hopefully we can continue to hold up. PRSO, let's pull it on the other screen. PRSO. $35 holding up so far here into the open for SYNX. I think this one looks the best. PRSO definitely gaining some volume as well. 89 for high of day in PRSO. Why am I getting lag here? What's going on? Seems like my level 2 is, let me see something here. If you're now tuning in, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Nothing looking spectacular at the moment. T-Pet. Yesterday, I didn't really love how it was moving. But let's see. Today is a new day, so. $250 is that big level over the last 2 days where it, kind of double topped. Five-minute candlestick looks good. Time. We had a good pullback already, though. That red candle that came. Highs of what, 39, lows of 24. Is it worth the breakout trade? It's hard to say if it will be. I think my level 2 is like lagging pretty bad. Let me restart this level 2 here. This is not good. The chart is like updating before I'm getting the price points. Ay, 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 ay. Are we good? Are we good? I'm watching at TPET. PRSO red to green here. Oh my god. Jesus. Never mind about that red to green. Christmas tree. Dang. 90 to 60? Hopefully nobody got caught in that one. Not what we want to see for the sake of momentum and like bullishness here. TPET, I'm going to keep an eye here and, you know, see what this one does. High of days at 39. Restarting the platform there, you know, not too good. Maybe getting in the way of getting a little bit more size in that trade. But all good. Couple cents, small size. And hopefully it's able to push through 39 here. There are sellers at 40. Yeah. But I mean, it's still early, but what I don't like so far is that when we get to 40, we're not really seeing those orders going down. No one is really like, you know, pushing it. That could change though, so keeping an eye. Watching to see if we get the higher low here. Wow. Well, I guess it's gonna be a higher low, all right. Gotta keep like a blank canvas and not like not have an expectation of how, you expect the move to come down. Just kind of have to like take it. The roller coaster of PRSO curling up again. Gotta remain patient. Remain patient. Stick to course. Four two. There could potentially be a reclaim. If not, it looks like this one could be finished. Do not fail me. Do not fail me now. In this beautiful reclaim, I expect to see 38 out of this. Now take me to the moon over the next 2-3 minutes. I gotta definitely like add a little faster. Feel like I'm like taking a little too long to like, get in there all the way. The 5-minute candle to make the new high would be at 33, 32. Rose 5. PRSO roller coaster. Roller coaster. Roller coaster. Bro, brother. 17 is the absolute low here. Well, these stocks are in the depths. Holy smokes. We're increasing our deficit 0 for 5 here. I'm going to stick to really small size for the next couple of trades, and if I don't see anything, I may call it here. Because actually SYNX, how's that one doing? It doesn't look good. Our 1 minute candles to make the new high in the range there, rejecting 17. It's our third, fourth time here. Looks like it's coming down. So this consolidation, no good. No good for the red to green and the curl back up. We're just seeing like a lot of Christmas trees here. Hold up, let's see. Jesus Christ. SPY is tanking, brother. SPY is getting cooked. And job numbers in the depths. AIFF. Bro, what is that? Is it halted? Damn. Bro, like our pull, I mean, this is just, it's just nonsense, really. Regardless of the VWAP being here, it's like this is, it's like a almost like 100% retracement here. Nothing looks really, really good. T-Pad providing some opportunities, but you got to be careful not to get chopped out. Let's see if there's any other callouts I missed. CRE. DXST, the volume, I mean, I guess there was opportunity, right? Bit of a continuation move. Daily candle making a new high over 18. Sidelines for me. Sidelines, sidelines. Okay, NNA. Bro, I might as well just scalp the SPY right now. Like, SPY for a short? Maybe. NNA, the volume is way too light. Seems like the defense contract stocks, you kind of just, you got to really be in early, to get that good front side, like the headline itself. Once we're getting to these consolidation levels, a lot of them are slowing down. PRSO, how did we hold up here? Over time, there's still a chance it gets over this, let's say 180 level and maybe gets that break of 2. But for now, still sideways. What we hope is, it doesn't break down. If we break down and, sell off, then that's it. We got this move. We pretty much caught this move here going up, but, really small size. Sized up in the pullback here. And took a good size L. In this pullback. Was it there? Or maybe it was here. It might have been over here. 68. It might have been over here. 68 on this dip here. T-Pet. Complete another trash. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Fly to 280. What was that? 28. 25 to 32. Wow. What an amazing move. Like the volume is at a complete standstill on AIFF here. This is absolute depths. Not impressed, not in the slightest. PRSO 65 to 71. Nothing looks good here so far. Still sidelines. If AIFF squeezes into a halt, that could be very good. But as of right now, it just doesn't seem trustworthy. Send Marcelo my love. Jody. Jody. No, Marcelo's #1 fan. Bro, this market is just dead. I mean, there's nothing here that looks good to trade. And I'm red at 175 pre-market and added to that deficit here during the open. So I'm sidelining myself here. I'm not even interested with small size. T-pad still, the same price. SYNX sold off. PRSO somewhat sideways. You know, if that one gets over 180, 190, maybe there's something there. AIFF, a little hard to trust for me. Some of you guys might have gotten something out of it. You know, this setup here, for example, red to green. I don't know. It just, I don't know. It just does not look good, in my opinion. I'm Marcelo's number 2 fan. Number 2, the mighty has some fans in the building. Bro, Marcelo's funny though, man. You guys saw the video I posted yesterday with Marcelo? Just straight with how he says things. Here, I'll screenshot your message and I'll post it in the chat here for him. QCLS. PRSO currently 75. If that's him, that's that's good that he's around, I think. I think I've told that person that before, but I don't know. I don't have any proof, so TVGN, ANNA. Let me just take a look at these. Junk. DXST. Oh, this market, bro. Like, this market's just, at this rate, I'm gonna go mad. We see Monday, Tuesday, 2 nice days, and then, like, just absolute nothing. And I'm saying that, I mean, I understand that there's opportunities here and there, You really have to thread the needle, but no consistent, strong uptrend. AIFF is like the hot stock here. Like, just look at this thing. Anxiety treatment. Set for explosive growth. So Jody, if you're still here in the chat, right? The entire chat room swears that you're a man. They're like making jokes. When are y'all gonna have a meet and greet? If you want, we can have a meet and greet right now, me and you. But you gotta share your video, of course. Put our minds at ease. You gotta put our minds at ease. And don't worry, we'll live stream it to the entire YouTube here too. So if we're gonna get catfished, it's gonna be everyone, not just me. Yeah, isn't it crazy though? Like in a bit of a side note, yeah, I mean even like a video call, you could still get caught up, you know? That's true. With AI and, you know, the face recognition changing features and things like that. Even like voice changer. My first experience, or let's say my first like encounter with that is back when I used to play video games. I was playing Call of Duty, and it's like people can like change their voices and all sorts of stuff. It's like kind of funny. It's good for content, like if you're posting that type of like stuff. There's people who their YouTube channels to like post that kind of content. It's funny on one hand, but like if they're like actually using it to like, you know, try to get people, then that's where it gets a little weird. And on that topic, I mean, you know, we've had people in the chat room itself who've been some like weird characters, you know, things that you can't really comprehend. Guys who for months like we're looking at all the same stocks, they say all the right things, all the good call outs, like, hey, this is where I'm looking to be long, and I think support is in XYZ area. You know, 6 months down the line, you find out this person was never trading at all. And then it starts to make you like, you know, wonder like why you're doing this? Like, what was the goal? FEED. You know, 6 months in, they never attempted to like share any like websites or links, or, you know, they never tried to sell anything. You know, I mean, your call outs and all that stuff is there. It's like you might, even if you're trading in a simulator, like you might as well trade, you know, and like practice. And but I don't know, some people, we've had like at least 3 or 4 of those guys over the years. One of the guys, he had joined, and he's like, you know, he just got banned from Warrior Trading because as he was going short, Ross was going long, and the trade ended up going down, right? Stock like tanked. So Ross kicked him out of the chat room, and this is a guy who's like posting since back then, like 60K, 80K P&Ls. You know, it's crazy because people are making this kind of money. Like, we know, right? We know people are making. I mean, Ross is one of those guys, right? That is like public. There's a lot of private traders who are making 100K a day and these type of things all the time, right? Every day. But it just got a little weird, you know, and he posted some orders and the timestamps and everything were there. And, you know, the chat room guys, they know what's up. Like they looked up those candlesticks. I'm not sure how this particular thing works, but you can check to see. You can like audit those orders. And they did it, and it's like, yo, the volume that you posted on that particular, you know, time frame is not there. So that's a fake order, right? But I remember there's a day like this guy was like I'm long, I'm buying, right? And if I mean, I don't know, like the stock just went so crazy. It's some stuff that I mean, I don't know. There's no way I bought, cause I mean it was like a bull flag, right? It could just have been that traders everywhere might have been looking at it, but it just seemed so real in that moment. Like the moment he said I'm long, the green that was like just going through was like, and the size that he says he's taking, the stock gave like an equal and opposite reaction. But maybe that was just me, in my 5K size. I don't know. So you got to be careful with the catfishing online and, with AI nowadays. Yeah, red day recap here, sadly. Some people share, some people are private. A lot of people are private. We've had the conversations over the years about, the pros and cons of being public. We've had it, these conversations. I remember there's like 30 of us talking. And, Marcelo and I were getting asked like the pros and cons. And if we could go back, like if we would do it differently. For me personally, I don't mind it. Um, I don't mind it, but the thing is, it's like, it gets a little messy when the people who are watching you are like close to you in real life, like, like friends and like you kind of have to like be very careful how you're like moving friends and family and at the end of the day, nobody can go into someone else's mind to exactly know how they're thinking, how they feel. You can kind of only go off of what you see and like, their actions. That's for me where like it could get dicey because like someone let's give an example, right? Like let's say I made like one of my bigger green days, like I'm up 20K on the day, right? I'm up 20K on the day, maybe you go hang out with a group of friends, like before you know it, like they're looking at you to cover their tab, and it's like it could be like a situation like that, right? That's like a very small example, but you have to be careful of security stuff. That's like the biggest real risk of being online is security. People will try you. I spoke to other traders who are like big in the community. Some of them have gotten got, and others have been tested. So you got to be careful. I mean, people who are not public can also be hacked or scammed or things like that, but you have to be careful nevertheless, even more so. The good thing with trading is that like all of our money is like digital and like are in stocks and ETFs and crypto and um like portfolios pretty much. So it is somewhat safe in that aspect. It's like we don't really have like nobody has cash in their house kind of thing. Like, that would be pretty foolish, especially with like debit cards and credit cards. So in that aspect of things, you're pretty safe, but you still have to like always protect yourself. Everything that's hitting the scans are just, noisy stuff, nothing like with any really good volume. Like ANNA, for example, is hitting right now, just not looking that good. Jewelry, I don't really wear jewelry. I've had two gold chains since I was like, 5 or 4 years old. In Guyana where I'm from, gold is like it's like a normal thing. Like everybody has gold there, like from like, birth pretty much, really. I wouldn't even say it's a status thing, it's a culture thing at that point. And that country is famous for gold, right? Like gold rush and like mining up until the oil discovery recently, it's been like a gold. Gold is one of their biggest resource. Gold, sugar, and rice. Cut them off quick. That's an example. I'm not gonna say that that happened, but that's like an example, right? It's crazy. I mean, money is like a funny thing, man, because most adult people, they don't really tell other people how much they make for different reasons, you know? It's strange for people to really be saying how much they make. I mean, maybe it's happening more now due to like social media and other things, but typically people don't really know the exact amount someone is making. And then when you get to understand money at a certain level, the way how someone else without money might see money, it's very different, and there could be different expectations and all sorts of different things. Like someone might not know, because yeah, someone might not know, like, hey, like depending on how you're structured, like half of your money could be going to taxes, like just right away, before you even do anything. Depending on the states you're living into. I mean, New York, California, some of these states are pretty brutal. You could make 1 million, and then before you even see that million, you're already minus 500K. You got capital gains tax, state tax, federal income tax, and other things among that. Lifestyle expenses. You could be cooked. Pain. Yeah, even in the most recent meetup we just had, a couple of the guys were like, "Man, like the taxes are killing. I mean, it's killing everybody." And then the way how the country's set up, we get taxed everywhere, every time. We get taxed with our income, and then we still have to pay tax everywhere else. Property tax, sales tax. Every time we buy something, there's a tax on that. You can't even gift over a certain amount of money to a family member, or you're gonna get taxed on that. If you die and your house is passed on to in your will, if it's not done the right way, you're gonna get taxed there too, as a capital gain, essentially. But there are some ways, to reduce it, maybe, and some people will do the drastic measures of moving. Yeah, and if you're like international, maybe taxes are a little different. Like if you're living in Mexico and trading, I'm not sure how it'll work. But I know how Uncle Sam is, man. The taxes you can't run. Sounds depressing. Cartel tax. What's funny is Marcelo is originally like South American, right? I remember he told me a story like when he was a little younger. He experienced something like that where like these guys would like come and like everyone has to give them some percentage of the store. Like if you own like a store, you had to give them a percentage of the money you made that month or that week, or else they'll like it could be fatal. Maybe they destroy your property, stuff like that. So yeah, there could be cartel tax depending on where you live. Sadly, which is just crazy. Ross plus 1.7. Yeah, I don't blame Ross today, bro. It's like so slow. In America, it's obviously a great country here, but it would have been nice to see the government be 100% transparent. But if that was a thing, then it just probably couldn't work. It's like, hey, this is why we're doing X, Y, Z. People probably wouldn't support a lot of it. It seems like they'll make these decisions for what they think the best interest of the country should be. But it's above my pay grade, I'd say. It's not my kind of thing. It's just like when you have these people who become very radicalized and commit a very extreme act, it's like, do they realize that the people that they go after are like people who don't even know anything about what's going on? You just happen to be here. It's like very senseless in a way. Allegedly. All of the Area 51 aliens. I I don't know. I don't want to like speculate too much, but there'll probably be like some sort of collapse. An instant collapse. Yeah, we probably have to like find a new system or appoint new people. How was Miami? Miami was pretty decent. Quick summary of the trip. We went to Traders for a Cause, which is a trading seminar slash charity fundraising event. I would definitely encourage you guys to go if you're able to. The tickets are usually around 1,600, and you just have to accommodate for that and flights and hotel. If you're able to do it, even if it's just once, I'd say to give it a try because it's a good experience. You had a lot of keynote speakers, guys who've made over 100 million, guys who've made over 10 million, guys who are regularly making over 7 figures a year, mid 7 figures. It's great for networking, great for meeting people. AIFF curling up a little here. So we took in a lot of information, good networking, meeting a lot of awesome people, and outside of that, you can hang out and have a good time. It's Miami too. The weather was really nice. Bro, I have some good size in Bitcoin like right now. I mean, we'll see. Bitcoin. At one point I was telling myself I'd never invest in Bitcoin, like years ago, but I think it's here to stay. But I have a stop loss, so if I get stopped out, I get stopped out at my risk, which is no problem. Yes, indeed. Buy low, sell high. Be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. So yeah, the how much did I spend? If I'll be honest, I don't know. Um, because I paid for some stuff like so long ago, like the flight and like the ticket I bought since last year. The flight was early January. I think I booked it. The whole the BN. Well, we stayed at Airbnb, and I was like a little away from the hotel. Let me see. I'll try to do some rough math here. I did do first class. Because my back. I don't typically do first class, but right at that time we had the snowstorm here in the Northeast, and I overdid it. So I was having some pretty bad back pain. Not only did I help with my house here, but the neighbor, there's this elderly lady. One of the other neighbors got stuck in Pennsylvania. Helped him out. I mean, not by myself, but like it's like a neighborhood effort thing, but kind of helped out a lot of people. Another elderly guy, he needed help with his driveway. And me being who I am, it was a slow day in the market. I'm like, hey, young, strong, feeling good. And I'm just there shoveling, shoveling before you know it. At the end of it, I'm like, bro, what did I do to myself here? So I had to take first class. It was pretty bad, honestly. Like I had to upgrade. So the flight might have cost me a little bit. I mean, it wasn't that bad. Like 700, I think, back and forth round trip, which is still kind of pricey, I guess, for like a 3-hour flight. So there's 16, there's 7. The Airbnb was maybe like another 7 per person, like 750. You can do this stuff cheaper than this. Like you don't have to calculator, calculator. So 16 plus 7. I should have did plus 14 plus another, let's say 750. 3K for room and board. Now food and travel, it just depends on what you're doing. Like if you're going there and you hey, the hotel that we stayed at, the hotel that the Traders for a Cause people stayed at, right? Like the main group of people stayed there. There was a discount for that hotel, but it would have ran you. I think was it 1,300 for the? I think it would have been 1,300 for 4 nights with the discount. I think. So the hotel was like a pretty expensive hotel, but you didn't have to stay there. You could have stayed like a 10-minute 10-minute walk away at a different hotel that was a third of the price. So you can do what you need to do if you want it to be a little cheaper. And if you don't need that extra convenience. You can fly and fly regular, or maybe you live in the state already where they're doing it, you just drive in. We were like 30 minutes away from the hotel, so it was a lot of Ubers. It was a short trip, so doing like a grocery shopping didn't really make sense. We just all would like Uber Eats and DoorDash and that type of stuff. Burritos, breakfast burritos, probably one of the hottest items. It was a good time though, you know, you met a lot of great people. Um, we did some fine dining because, you know, why not? The good thing with like trading though, and or even if you're just like a high income earner or whatever you're doing, if you do end up doing all these type of things, you know, it, it's not really an issue, right? You can go, you can come back, and you don't have to think about anything. The mindset definitely for me has been way different from like the beginning of everything, you know. One of the guys, like, he didn't even stay at the plate. I mean, you know, it's kind of how it goes. One of the guys didn't even stay at the. He ended up just staying at the hotel. You know, it's like he didn't even care to like, hey, okay, it's like this, like, hey, I didn't stay there, so I want my money back. It's not like there's none of that. Like, you know, everybody's at a place where certain things it's just irrelevant at a certain point. One scratch trade. That was the saying. One scratch trade. And this is a famous meme. Bro, everything is just so bad. I'm gonna shut it down soon here in the next 5 minutes. Yeah, Oren, that's right. From earlier, verification is important. Some people, there was one guy who we kind of pressed to verify it and he got offended. But this guy was a real guy, right? I mean, if you own a chat room, you can decide what you want to do about these type of things. But this guy was like a long time member of the chat too. Like he was a short seller. He was the only short seller that was here in the beginning. You know, he was making like 10,000 a day for like years, like 3 4 years straight. He's also in Investors Underground. This guy, right? Like he's, you know, good short seller, been around for a while. And when it came up that, like, you know, hey, we gotta verify you, like it was a problem, like it was an issue. He just kind of felt like, yo, since I've been here, like, you know, like why are you guys checking me, you know? But at that time is when we kind of came up with like, hey, let's just start verifying everyone. He's been to our, like, we've had virtual meetups. Like he was there, his camera was on, you know, he gave his you know, tips and stuff like that of what he looks at. So because of all of that too is why we never felt like we needed to ever check him. But when the verification came around, it's like, hey, all right, we've never really checked your gains to make sure you are who you say you are. And he's like, bro, no way. Like, and some people too are just private. Like, I mean, most people will know that I'm someone who's not gonna ever try something, right? And God forbid if I ever do, which I won't. If I ever do, like everybody will have my information to get me. Like, it, it'll never happen. It'll never happen, right? So I don't even want to get into like if it does, then like, you know, sue me aggressively and like destroy me kind of thing. But you know, it'll never happen, right? Like it's just not who I am. So for anybody in the community, like if you're not able to share it with myself or Marcelo, you know, it's not like you have to share it to the world. It doesn't have to be like we don't need to see like extreme details, AIFF coming down here. We don't need to ever see extreme detail. We don't need any sensitive information. Like, you know, just you inside of your broker. Most brokers allow you to put on like a privacy mode to where you can hide your account number. And that's pretty much it. Like I'm not gonna be there like, hey, let me see your password as your log. Like, no, we don't need anything that can compromise ourselves, compromise anyone. So it's kind of like, hey man, at least myself or Marcelo, whoever you're more comfortable with. The guy was like, bro, to hell with y'all. Like he ended up showing me, but it was at a point where he's like, I'm out of here. At that time, he had a child. Hopefully, she's doing really well. Hopefully, Sophia is doing great. So many people we were supposed to visit. Like time like now, if these people are still around, it would have been automatic. Pastor coming to town for a week. We got Dash in the green, Oren in the red, Danny with a small red day, but good week nevertheless. Karma, small green. Hollis, small green. Let's see. Shay, small green. A lot of people have finished green today, which is really good. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty tough, slow day. Momo Bro. Okay, that was yesterday. Today, so more people will upload later as the day goes on. I should have kept it a little tighter. I think around that like 200 mark. Losing that extra $100 was a little too much. Traders for a cause. By the way, a big part of Traders for a Cause is giving back. Donating to. I can talk a little bit about the few people who represented their. Do I want to say a foundation? There was a woman who spoke about allergies. Like you can donate to these different groups, and help people out. She spoke about allergies and the importance of having the knowledge and being aware of what to do if there's an allergic reaction. What's it called? An EpiPen? You have to, if you have a child with allergies, you got to be very careful, um, and have everything that you might need in case an accident happens. Another woman spoke about her experience and serving in the military and was helping out a patient and got struck in the head and ended up becoming blind. And so the foundation that she was representing, they were training I think it was, what are these dogs called? German Shepherds, and I want to believe maybe Golden Retrievers. Anyhow, they were training dogs to become guide dogs, and it was pretty impressive. Like, what the dog could do and how it helps her to be able to go from total blindness to being able to function again, and doing certain things that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. These stories, though, man, they bring tears to your eyes. Like this, it also reminds you too that things happen, man. Like we never think about it. Like we never ever think about it, but like stuff just happens so randomly. One guy that was there, great trader. Shout out to him. I forgot his name, but he was in a wheelchair and he had a skiing accident. And still trades to this day and still's making money. I mean, just some very inspirational stuff. Um, Another guy, he had went out overseas. I forgot which country it was in Africa, but he's helping like unprivileged kids there to, you know, be able to get education, things like that. So very impressive and important to see people who've done well helping others. It's like I was there wishing like I was in a position just to keep saying like, okay, for this charity, I'm giving 100,000. I'm giving 100,000. Giving a, like even if I could give 1,000,000, it's like that's how it makes you feel. Like you just want to just give everything. Makes you want to just, you know, but you also still have to make sure you can help yourself too and not go too overboard. But Tim Sykes, shout out to Tim Sykes, man, and you know some of the other guys there. Tim Sykes is like, hey man, like there's like a tally board of like, you know, people donating and like numbers going up. They had a goal of 50,000, and it was at 37,500 or so. Tim Sykes is on the stage giving his speech with a couple other guys, and just gets frustrated that, hey, I want to see this number goes up. I want to see this number go up faster, and just goes like, hey, you know what, man, I'm donating 20,000, and it's like that right there, bro, is like what you know what I would want to be able to do. It's like gotta keep working. So shout out to those guys, man, for, you know, not only giving good tips and tricks about trading and educational material, but also donating and giving back. I don't care what anybody might try to call it, and you know they say like, a topic they touched on was why give back publicly and not just in private, and they spoke about the butterfly effect, the ripple effect, that people can see you giving back and they can be in a position where they then feel inspired or encouraged or motivated. They feel motivated to, you know, add to the cause. He gave an example of building a school, and before you know it, the CEO of a company matched the donation, which became two schools, and the rival CEO of another company saw it and like, hey, you know, I'm gonna get into this action, and before you know it, it became three schools. So there is some, you know, positive stuff from donating publicly for those people who do have a platform. Shout out to Marcelo as well, who went back to his home country, and I believe it was the holidays. He gave out a bunch of toys. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways of giving back. I've done some stuff here. I've done some stuff here in my community. I haven't posted those. I still have those videos. I haven't posted them, but you know, there's multiple ways of giving back. I've even went to restaurants and like just tip the entire staff, you know. I've done some pretty crazy stuff too myself. AIFF and other stocks are completely in the depths. It's a good time for me to shut it down, get out of town. Cactus Rob, are you listening right now? This is so funny. Someone is asking me how much have the live stream made me. You know why I just asked if Cactus Rob is listening. Cactus Rob, a member of our chat room yesterday, was telling me how I was how I was pumping the ads, right? And I showed him how much money I've been making a month from the YouTube channel. Um, it's not anything impressive by any means. It's like $2,000 a year from the live streams. It's it's you know it's something, right? I mean, being that I'm trading and then like I get an extra $200 at the end of the month. I mean, it's something, right? I'll take even if it's $10 because I'm already doing this anyways. Now, if your YouTube channel, you can make a lot of money from YouTube, right? But you gotta be at a certain level of views. You gotta be hitting, like, I mean, Ross probably makes a decent amount because Ross gets like 40K views a video, but even Ross is not really making that much, like in terms of like insane money. Mr. Beast might be too extreme of an example, but when you're averaging a few million views a video and you're posting, whether it's daily or weekly, the more often the more often you upload, the better, the higher the views, and the longer the video, because then you can put more ads throughout. Um, you can calculate this. I've done this before on the YouTube channel for you guys. I think at least 3 times over the years, 4 times maybe. It's very easy to calculate how much money someone is making if they're running one ad. If you have multiple ads, then like you'll have to do it multiple times, like the multiplication. You just times it by 2, 3, 4, or 5x, whatever it might be. There are categories too on YouTube. Each category pays a different amount per every 1,000 views. For example, lifestyle content, which is like if I post a vlog of me going to Miami, let's say it's a 10-minute video. For a video like that, I'll get paid $2.65 per every 1,000 views with one ad. So let's say I have an ad at the beginning of the video and then an ad at the end of the video. Like that's kind of how you can do the math, right? And you'll never get an exact number because some people might start the video and click off midway. Some might not get to the end. So the ad at the end, nobody might even see it. I mean, it depends, right? Maybe a few people does, but a few people might see it. A few people might, but you can get maybe like a ballpark / like a rough number. But you can even just divide you can divide like the total views by 1,000 and then times that by whatever category the person is in. That's the simplest way to see how much money someone has made on YouTube. Total views on the channel divided by 1,000 times the category that they're in. Some YouTubers are killing it. It really depends. Also, I'm surprised that people don't have YouTube Premium. I haven't seen an ad in years. I have multiple accounts, so sometimes I'm in like a different account on Google, and I go on YouTube to check something quickly, and then there's an ad. I'm like, oh. For a long time, I didn't even realize that the live stream had ads. Like I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought what it would do is that it would put ads on the video after the live stream is done for the people who are rewatching, not like real time, you know? But if you have a YouTube channel and you're going, you have really good content and you're uploading a lot of stuff and you're getting a ton of views, the subscriber count really doesn't matter that much. The YouTube subscribers are typically going to be reoccurring viewers, and some people who are like really engaged with your channel, they'll see the suggested videos as they pop up. But I find that YouTube, for me personally, they only recommend 2 channels to me nonstop, or three channels, and those are the top 3 channels that I'm looking at. But there are times where I'm wanting to see something else and it's just not there. I have to go to the subscription section and like scroll down to the person or find their name, whatever it might be. So subscribers may not even get the notification that you're live or that you're, that you've uploaded. So it's all about the active viewers that you have that are coming back, and then the new viewers on top of that. This space pays more than a bunch of the other spaces like finance and online content. But the issue is that how much people in the world are really looking, and then on top of that, right? Like how many people are into finance? Finance in general is a big category, okay, but then when you narrow it down to then stocks, and then you narrow it down again to then day trading, and then you narrow it down again to like scalping. Like how many people are really watching this type of content? I mean, Ross is like maybe Ross, Humble Trader. Those two are like the bigger ones on YouTube. If I used to post forex content, my channel would have been like 10 times the size or like 5 times the size. But with trading stocks and the PDT rule, a lot of people don't have 25K. They're not like really able to like scalp. So it's like, why bother even getting into this category when I can just trade forex or some other currency or some other type of stocks? Which is why when you talk about overall investing, you get more views naturally because more people are interested in learning how to invest or how to do finance. Maybe I could take this channel in that direction, if I really want to like blow it up to get like insane views. Simple topics like budgeting, savings, hey, how I made $1 million, right? Kind of thing. Like those are the videos that naturally if I upload it will get more views, rather than hey, I made 10K on this small cap stock. Like nobody cares about that. Like, you have to be really in this niche for that video to even come to your screen. And even then, half the people are not gonna like. I can see how many people saw my thumbnail and didn't click on the video, right? And the video can be me with a big smile, 10K day. Hey, 7,000 people saw this video and 1,000 people clicked on it. So the other 6,000 people didn't even care. So if you're looking to like really like go crazy on YouTube, you have to kind of think about how you want to structure your channel. But typically, the more general you are, the broader your audience can be, the more views you can get. And even if you're in a category where the pay per every 1,000 viewer is less, you can still make more because the views are just that much higher. Ross has 2 million followers and gets 20,000 views a video on like the recaps. Don't get me wrong, 20,000 is a lot of people. But you would think with a 2 million channel, he should get, let's say 500,000 minimum. I mean, for me, I have 20,000 subscribers. I post a recap. I get 500 to 1,000 views. And then with the stock market too, there's like a revolving door. Some people will kind of be here. Some will come back. Some will leave. So, I mean, there's just so many variables to how it works. But again, which is why if your channel is a little bit more broad, you'll cover more people, and you're gonna get more views. If I start uploading finance content today, every day for the rest of the year, I'm pretty sure I can start averaging like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 views, and then, get into higher numbers maybe into the next year. 100K views. This channel isn't like too far off from finance, but like that type, I don't even know if I want to do that. Not the work or anything, but you know, switching up from this being a day trading channel to then just something else. I've had other channels that no longer exist, so don't even bother searching. But those channels were like completely different stuff, like way far away from trading or finance. They're now in the abyss. So if you ever wondered a little about YouTube and like views, I think that explanation there should cover most things. But you know, I'd always encourage someone to start a channel, especially if what you're doing you already like and it's a general topic. Hey, some people, you know, it'll go from makeup to fitness to cars. I still have an idea for a car channel that I'm certain will blow up, but executing it is a little tricky. Even I mean, there's I don't want to I'm not gonna say this what I'm thinking, but there are things I could do to this channel to make it get more views, but it involves like certain things that is pushing on the edge of my professionalism here, you know, and who I am as a person and how I want to be portrayed. You know, I don't want to be too degen here. You know, I mean, there. You guys will see it all over YouTube. There's different methods and different ways of promoting and advertising, and you know, whether it's like fast cars or you know other things like that that people will utilize to help get more views and stuff like that. The pastor can go tomorrow and you know get a Lambo and just make 1,000 videos. You know, that's not what I want to do. That's not really who I am. But anyhow, I'll catch you guys later. Stay safe, stay green. I'm going all in on Bitcoin. I'll catch you guys next time. I have Bitcoin, but I'm not nearly anything close to all in. No, no, no. I'm gonna be diversified, brother. But yeah, catch you guys later. Stay safe, stay green.